So the Fed gets a lot of news and fanfare for monetary policy, but does a lot of other work. Mm-hmm. Esther, could you talk about the other functions of the Fed? It's maybe more of the blocking and tackling on a day-to-day basis that promotes financial stability.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Obviously, a lot of the headlines are around what's happening with interest rates, but this is an institution that has been given responsibility, and most of those operational responsibilities are carried out in those 12 regional banks and their branch offices, including one here, right here in Omaha. In addition to monetary policy, the Fed was given responsibility for the supervision and regulation of financial institutions. And again, the country divided up across those 12 districts meant that a region like Kansas City, around those 4 states, had a large population of community banks compared to the New York Fed, which had mostly money center banks in their portfolio. And so it was a very diverse set of responsibilities for maintaining a pulse on the health of the banking system. And the reason that's important is because obviously when the Fed is setting interest rates, it affects the cost of borrowing. And so having the ability to see how is credit flowing through the economy was an important aspect of doing that. And on what terms? Was it fair lending? How was that being conducted? A third responsibility that the Fed has is for, and I'm going to use a broad term of the payment system. When you and I are paying for things, we have the Federal Reserve, which really looks out for that through the banking system by and large. And when the banking system has not been able to fully provide for those services, the Fed is involved in that, because at the end of the day, when we all add up the outs and ends of the money across the country, it is the Federal Reserve Bank that is settling all of those payments. And so the Federal Reserve banks still handle billions of checks that run through that system. The direct deposit that you may have with a job that goes into your checking account. The Federal Reserve is increasingly involved in real-time payments. We know that the speed of payments is moving more quickly, and so the Federal Reserve is engaged in watching how large dollar payments as well as retail payments that you and I make are flowing through that system. So those functions all fit together, if you will, in terms of understanding how the economy is moving and how the economy is responding to different things, not just the interest rate, although clearly that's what central banks around the world do. They're all involved in doing that. The Fed has a bit broader mandate.